name's Mike Laslett O'Brien, but most people call me Mouse. I've lived in Earl's Court nigh on 30 years, just off Earl's Court Square. I was basically brought up in Notting Hill. My mother started the Notting Hill Carnival. I worked as a roadie for 25 years for about 32 bands. I now have a landscape gardening company. None of the bands I ever worked for played the Troubadour. When we were sort of not gigging, we'd go to places like the Troubadour, a place called Bunges in just off Soho. They were all folk clubs. They were very, very small little places, and there'd be a lot of fledgling folk musicians who were just starting out on their journey. And so you see people like Paul Simon, Sandy Denny, even Bob. I think Bob Dylan played there as well. And so you'd go there to have coffee and have a sort of like snack as such, and then you go down and see whoever was playing there. They were all starting out, so they weren't big names as such at the time. And, I'm talking about back in the sort of late 60s, 70s. Well, I can't remember where we played, but we were coming back from a gig, probably about 1966, 67, and we stopped in a restaurant in Earl's Court Road, Old Brompton Road, and we went in. It must have been about sort of 10 or 11 at night or something, maybe even later. And there was 5 musicians and 2 roadies, and we sat down. And the waitress and the chef were obviously, sort of an item, and they were having an issue. They were rowing big time, and it got become very heated, and they both, were both shouting at each other and even throwing things at each other, and then they both stormed out of the restaurant. And we were sitting there, and there was no staff apart from the person who owned the place. And suddenly the kitchen burst into flame because the chef had left something on the grill. So somebody put the fire out. The fire brigade didn't turn up. And we were still hungry, so the singer of the band went into the kitchen and we cooked ourselves a meal.